been done in the 20, who made that up?
Quarter inch.
Well, we just use common information that everything in the average building gets swapped out in 25th to 50th birthday, doesn't it? So did we swap out all the electric? Did we swap out the roof? Did we swap out all the windows? Did we swap out all the plumbing in that building in the 25th to 50th birthday? And this thing's already 83 years old today. So usually on every 25-year cycle, something's happening. What did they never do?
First, fixed her.
Right? So we're just basically saying historically, this building has gone through all the changes except for one piece of it, and here it is.
Where the Rodney Dangerfield of the fire buildings.
So this is what Lowell did, our model city in the East Coast. They sent out this with your tax records. Okay, they sent out a letter that says, hey, did you know there's a code that says the fire escapes must be examined? And now that we've been made aware that we really didn't know what we were doing, we now have sent it out with the taxes. They sent out a letter saying, please be aware that over the next 1 to 3 years, we are going to be tripping over you. But in the meantime, if you want to get off and get into it now, get your fire escape up to speed, because what we don't want to get you with is fines, fees, and penalties. Because once you put a yellow tag or a red tag on a building, is there any fines, fees, or penalties associated with that while the meter's running?
There can be.
There should be, because if the dog has no bite, what do you do to the fence? You kick it.
Yeah.
But if there's a gate that's open and the dog is growling, what do? You play nice and you do what's told, so there needs to be teeth. If there's no teeth, which can be waived at any time, right?
The building department has some things, fire department, the only time we can do it is after we've been to court and have done a court case, otherwise we have no fee.
We don't have fines, we have cost recovery.
Yeah.
Then you need to bring that in, because this is one thing. So Lowell did that and basically instituted with the taxes. They used that letter to get out and say, hey, everybody, we dropped the ball on this. Be aware that we're on top of this now.
That may not be a bad idea.
Okay? And guys, copy. Speak with Reg 4. Look at all the pain that Portland went through, because they were chasing you guys, and then they went ahead of you guys on this, but then they went extreme head, because you get into this, some of their load testing is insane.
See, a lot of that stuff, that's where educating the professionals, and then that's how to get those guys trained, so we're not dictating.
So the next class, like they did, is, so this is a great class for you guys to know that this really needs to be another class for architects, engineers, and vendors, to basically say, we're ready to start writing violations. You guys need to know how to properly enforce this, because building department's not gonna enforce it, we're just gonna write permits for it. Fire department's not gonna enforce it, we're just gonna write violations. And in the middle is supposed to be these vendors,
Right.
following the rules of these engineers who are properly trained to inspect and provide a repair criteria that meets one of two things. You're gonna be spot repairing, and let me tell you what a spot repair looks like. That design professional is gonna go out with a $2 can of spray paint. He's gonna walk, because he's not gonna write half-inch thick of paper and give it to a blue-collar guy, because guess what he's not gonna do? He's not gonna read it. You know what I'm saying? He's got a finger painted for dummies, and he's gonna grab this white can of paint and go, psst, fix that, psst, 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 psst. Once he gets to the top, he's gotta photograph all the things he just marked, because you think somebody's gonna try to hide those pictures? Then while he's up there with today's technology on every phone, he's gonna video talk it when he's up above. He's gonna video talk it and say, hey, this, and this needs to get done, and document that in case somebody wants to check the progress, which is you. He can send you a video link. If you wanna see one of those, go online, and that's what we do. To basically do the oversight, we brought technology to say, I don't need you at the job site. Let me give you the photographs associated with it. Let me give you the video link of what needs to be done, and you can determine that it's a life safety issue with today's technology. A single letter, a single checkbox opinion letter is not sufficient. They're getting away with opinion again. They just got onto the backside. Got it?
Got it.
So, but copy. Look, guys, there's tons of stuff out there that people have sort of morphed.
Mm-hmm.
So this 3-card idea is going to be a national standard. That's what we're working on. Confidence test is a national standard, which you guys copied one of my tests, and thank you very much, because now my test is unacceptable. the fact that you copied my test and all the wording in it is more acceptable than my test that they won't accept because it's from a private individual.
It's like being married.
Now go to work. So tagging, guys, it's coming nationwide. White tags, yellow tags, red tags.
Well, we have the big placard on them after they've been done. Right up here, the Panama is one of those.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And then who's this for? This is for the
us.
firemen.
Yeah.
Middle of the night, this is for the firemen to know it's, white is all right. Again, we don't want to have a tragedy for another reason for us to get together. Now guys, fire escapes, all exterior steel or wooden stairs must be examined under the code. You'll find that out to be true, right? So right now, we're only focused on fire escapes, but is this a way to get out of your building, which is considered a fire escape? Are these? By the way, there's your, your towers on your parking garages, right? So let's see if these are all fire escapes / steel or exterior steel or wooden stairs. Ready?
Wow.
Right? Exterior steel or wooden stairs, right? Exterior steel or wooden stairs. To provide egress. Exterior steel or wooden stairs, bridges, balconies. Do you have to examine those if they're exposed to weather? It's right in the code, isn't it? Let's see what that building code. By the way, building code, it
Is
says
there a
that.
stair?
That's over that way.
A ladder?
All exterior steel or wooden bridges, balconies, fire escapes. Got it? How about hotels with these exterior walkways exposed to weather and snow and ice and all that stuff? Those need to be examined? We'll get those on the next round. But you know what? All exterior steel or wooden stairways. How about these porches on the back of buildings that people put bikes and
We've run
cans
we've run
and,
into those.
and aren't these is this the second means of egress, guys?
Yeah,
So these are exterior steel or wooden fire escapes.
out the back of a bunch of these old apartment buildings up on Capitol Hill.
And by the way, you guys have this other problem. You guys got these 1-, 2-story things that are forbidden to be touched by anybody but the Pope. Am I correct? There's a whole, doesn't cover 1 and 2 families.
Oh, yeah, well, then it goes in residential code, it's not building code.
Right. But isn't fire department? Don't you guys fight every fire? Or you guys don't touch residential people anymore? Right. So there's that you have to find in the residential code where this maintenance part is required, so that you guys can basically scoop those people in. Got it?
That's why we need to work together.
So, needs to be watched. How about these? How about these? How about this thing? It's only 4 feet off the ground. Exterior. Needs maintenance. Needs paint or not? See how big this thing is? We're just dealing with fire escape. Get your feet wet on fire escape, and then you're going to grow into all exterior steel or wooden stairs must be examined. Spirals. Decks, Chicago, 27 people dead on the ground. Miami, how many people fell into the alligator pit?
One.
25.
How many came out? 25 went in. We were able to recover 12. Not all limbs matched.
Gator country.
Well, that happened. You guys remember the airline that crashed into the swamp? And what was it? One of the airlines that went out of business in Miami, Florida. Some crazy,
Yeah, about 20 years ago.
20-something years ago. Remember, it went into the swamp. By the time they got there, they couldn't find half the people. The alligators ate most of the people. How about this? How about handicap ramps, guys? Is that an exterior steel wooden bridge? Subject to examination? Steel catwalks, cement catwalks. All of these must be examined. If it's exterior, the life safety of this dog is very, very important. We need to secure that for that dog to make sure he doesn't get hurt. How about farm equipment? How about refineries? When you guys are fighting fires, are you guys gonna go up some of this equipment to go fight a fire? Billboards. Is that all part of the International Building Code? How about catwalks, skywalks? Who is examining those things? They're means of egress.
That's tough.
Depends on where it is.
Got it? How about these people that put a ladder, a Home Depot ladder up against the wall? like this guy.
Good luck.
That's his second means of egress. You know what's missing there? A balcony. You can't just have a ladder out your window. You need a balcony. But number two is, this is one of those single-family homes that got converted either to a two-family or a three-family illegally, and they just threw a ladder up. Now there's apartment, apartment, and apartment.
Only three?
Only three. There's a back.
The basement,
Sorry, the basement.
Well, there's only 3 in the attic.
Spirals, guys, examined. Start with fire escapes. Don't let this blow your head, but once you start with fire escapes, it's an easy transition over the next 5 to 10 years for you guys to basically go in and start capturing a lot of these as you start dealing with egress. Ready? 12-story slidescape. This is Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Oh.
This is on the roof, so I'm way up there with a guy. And every floor inside, there's these two little orange doors that you open up, and it's 12 stories. See this right
Where
here?
is it?
It goes down here,
Oh,
corkscrews.
that? You're kidding.
And then when you reach down here, at the first floor, it takes a right-left hook turn. And you go down this kid slide, straight shot, to a steel door with a huge paddle that your feet are supposed to whack.
And the big
This
crescent
door
moon face.
opens and you fall out.
Oh.
12 stories, ready? Let's see what it looks like.
Don't wear shorts.
Yeah.
Did you
There's
video
the-
it? Did you
Oh, by
have
the
a
way,
webcam?
it's dark. You don't get a flashlight when they throw you down this thing. This is what it looks like when you look down the pit.
Oh,
It's a
Come on,
corkscrew.
man.
Dude, I ain't doing it.
afraid
Anything
of
to indicate that when you're going in, that somebody else is gonna come hit you, or are you supposed to make noise on the
Oh,
way down?
you're worried about
the
that?
highway,
Oh, well,
or-
you're gonna go down tail first, head first, tumbling.
Do they have a maximum circumference on?
Well, just, when you look at it in the codes, slidescape was still in the code as of probably 20 years ago still. Nobody built them anymore.
That was before my.
And this is 100 years old. This is a Art Deco building, built in 1902, 1905.
Really?
So it's one of the only slidescapes I've ever seen in the nation. But it's on a 12-story building, and it's an active building. This is their second means of egress. They only have one staircase, an elevator, and a slidescape.
Oh.
Here's some other slidescapes. Now, military used to use, this was typical for military. The barracks used to have the slidescapes on the barracks.
Yeah, one story fine, but.
You see those at the McDonald's now.
Yeah. In the playpen.
It's a one-way set. Look at a school, look at a kid. Look at off a slidescape. So slidescapes were, I mean, this was just something to, basically, people came up to say, let's help, something is better than nothing. But then eventually it became an issue, that slidescapes are a one-way system. You can't go back up them in any way. So here's another system, and we're at the end. This is the end of the show, guys. This is the bag ladders that you hook on the thing. It's not an acceptable means of egress. It is a third means of egress, not a second means of egress. It's basically what you buy for 75, $100 to $300 will buy a bag ladder.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
So here's the latest, greatest. Ready? For $2,000 to $4,000, and I'm going to show you something for $2 to $4 million. Already gone through the approval process. Now, one of the biggest problems you had with the towers was that people from upper floors couldn't get through the 2 to 3 stories that were burning. There was no helicopter fleet for everybody to go up and just basically take a helicopter out. And there was no way for people to get down without jumping basically a one-way ride. So this guy invented a system that can go up to 50 stories or more, and he got it approved, and he's an ex-firefighter. And you can buy these systems for $2,000 to $4,000 and do two things. I can buy one on my own building, so I can self-evacuate out of the 15th floor of my house. Or you guys can have this on your truck and basically bring it into a building, get to a roof, get to a window on any place on a high rise over 7 stories because your trucks don't go, and start evacuating people on this. This is $2,000 to $4,000 that people can buy. It's a third means of egress. It's not a second means of egress. And the fire departments, every fire department should have one of these. Okay, and they've used these on towers, prison towers, air towers, because it's a one-way system. Meaning that a lot of towers just have one stair, and so they started buying this, and it has been approved. And then the
It's
sixth,
over 7 stories, but up to how many?
the cabling on this can go over 50 stories.
Okay.
So if you live in a high-rise building, you probably at least wondered how you would get out of there if there was a fire. Those fears became all too real for thousands of Americans on September 11th. Many were trapped in the World Trade Center towers.
And this is
as
where
the
we're gonna
floors
end.
below
After this one,
burned.
there's just one more.
Well, now inventors are working on new technology to help people get out alive. Ari Otzer has a look at one invention. Go ahead, step up.
And down he goes. Looks simple, and it is. The Recover All high-rise evacuation system
Training at a fire
being tested on this day by firefighters.
I think this is impressive. It looks pretty easy to set up, it's easy to use, it's hands-free operation.
It compresses between 2 floors and then it has a cable.
I think it'll work. Our equipment was designed specifically.
And it's a
to be
two-way
used
system,
by
so as you go
people,
down,
by children. That's
the other
why
cable
we
comes
chose
back up,
the
brings
device
up the
that's
other
fully
bag, so you can
automatic
go up and down all day long.
operation. That's why we enclosed the victim inside a
Okay,
full-coverage
so it's not a one-way
suit,
system,
which
it's a two-way
eliminates severe
system.
heights.
The first step for evacuation is putting on the big suit. Kind of makes you look like a baked potato, but this actually
Bring a child in there with you,
from heat and
450
flames
pound
in a real
capacity on
fire
these.
situation.
Put a dog in there with
Firefighters
you,
let us go for
get
a
over the
test
rail and
ride.
just jump off.
Picture
You
one
drop
of
2 to
these
3 feet
machines
per
on your
second.
condo balcony, ready to use.
You can permanently affix it, so you don't have to have the pole. Otherwise, you guys can have one man can carry this on his shoulder and bring it to a fire rescue from the 11th floor.
Once you push back and let go, the machine lowers you gently to the ground at the rate of 3
See
feet
the other
per
cable that's
second.
coming back
The
up, so
ride
you
is
can have
smooth
it
all the way down.
with
You
2
never
bags.
speed up, you never slow down. It keeps you at that same rate all the way down to the ground. So the obvious question on everyone's mind is, would this system have made any difference in the World Trade Center disaster?
My personal opinion is this would have saved some people out there, absolutely.
Got it?
This came
So,
with a-
this is something that you can buy as an individual without anybody's permission.
Lieutenant Mike Nugent was there.
This is something that every fire truck can have if it deals with a downtown and over 7 stories, is have one of these in their truck all the time. And basically, with your masks, you can get through the fire, get to the roof, or get to a higher floor and start evacuating people from above. You can even have a helicopter drop somebody on the roof with one of these systems and start evacuating people off the back.
Thinking of
Got
all
it?
the people
So-
trapped by fire in those buildings.
So that was the big issue, right? 2 to 4 million.
This could have made a difference in New York. Not enough
I'm sorry,
to
$2
save everyone,
to
but
$4,000
enough
per
to save a
system,
few
so
hundred
not that
lives.
expensive.
In Davie, our
Got it? Here's 2 to 4 million. Now, the guy who invented this and already has one of these models in Israel, a 20-story building. This is an actual model in Israel. Now, I would love to see this on every new construction going up of a brand new building, skyscraper. Your 2 means of egress, your elevator, and a third. This is using technology from cruise liners and such. But watch what this guy did. This is all controlled by the fire department. Okay? The compressed elevator is what you're going to see. The accordion elevator is the key here. So again, controlled by the fire department. This is because there's a block that you cannot get into the building, or there's some inability to get through the 5th floor's block. You can't get beyond the 5th floor. Each one of those open up. There's 5 of them. You can have 3 to 5 or more, but this is the average, 3 to 5. They're putting firemen into the building now, because for some reason the 3rd floor is blocked. You can't get in the traditional way anymore. This is already in Israel. This is a 20-story building that this is built there. Patented and everything. This is showing, even on buildings with offset windows, they built a ramp, handicap accessible. So the firemen now, in 5 floors, there's 5 firemen working 5 floors. And what are they doing? Rescue mission or firefighting?
Rescue.
So let's get everybody out of the building, because for some reason they can't go down the traditional way. So this is not to say, hey, don't use the stairs anymore. Something tragic has happened and you can't use the stairways anymore. And all these people, again, controlled by the fire departments, $2 to $4 million bucks. The firemen that stay behind are doing what? Fighting the fire. And they're evacuating people at the very bottom. Now imagine mandatory, this is your mandatory 3rd means of egress of every Seattle building that's going to go up now, must have one of these, if not 2 of these on every rooftop, sitting there, waiting and poised, that if you have any situation where you have over 7 stories, there's a floor burning, how do you get everybody else above those floors out? Through a 3rd means of egress. $2 to $4 million. tested, proven, so the dinosaurs, traditional fire escapes. Is there new technology out there? Sure is. You're looking at it. But believe it or not, 98% of what you have here is traditional old dinosaur fire escape systems that we now need to get a new, fresh look at. But what do we have on the wings for these 50, 75-story buildings coming to your city? And what about all these existing structures that are 15, 20, 25 stories? Can you have them implement a third means of egress system? $2 to $4 million. They've spent more of that on marble floors than they've, but you know, it's another way of getting there. And that's pretty much the, as they say, the end of the show. So I think I did pretty well, right on the dot.
There you go. No problem, man. That's awesome.
So if